For today's story, we are covering the latest from President Biden, who has some thoughts on some common sense gun regulations, which I'm sure will in no way become expanded like we have seen, for example, in other countries, including Canada. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Uncivil Law, where we learn through the misfortunes of others. As always, I hope you enjoy this legal education content, and today will be the day I earn that subscription. For today's story, we are talking about gun control vis-a-vis the President of the United States, who wants to, do some things that are common sense. He doesn't want to ban anyone's guns. He just wants to, ban guns. So we're going to cover this article and what it has to say, so let's go ahead and get started. From People magazine, President Biden calls for a unity agenda for life-saving new gun laws. Quote, "Here's what I believe we have to do," unquote. How exciting. Tell me more. On Thursday, the president offered an urgent plea to Americans. How much more carnage are we willing to accept? Wow. I mean, not baiting that hook at all. In a primetime address to the nation Thursday night, delivered while many Republicans across the country continue to call for increased school security, which sounds like, perhaps a good idea, because obviously the police aren't going to do anything for us, Biden called for Congress to reinstate a nationwide assault weapons ban and institute a number of other gun reform measures.
The gun manufacturers have spent 2 decades aggressively marketing assault weapons, which make them the most and largest profit. For God's sake, we have to have the courage to stand up to the industry.
Not for nothing, but there doesn't appear to be much evidence at all that the 10 years that there was a so-called assault weapons ban in the United States did anything to increase or decrease gun violence. It appears to have basically no effect. So I'm not quite sure why reinstating this would do any good, because it didn't seem to do any good the first time, but whatever. The president continues by saying that easy access to high-powered guns are to blame for the influx in mass shootings and countless deaths of people at shopping malls, supermarkets, churches, and in elementary schools. This time, Biden said, we must actually do something. Well, if you're going to do something that actually would help, then maybe, but there's problems. Also, there's the Constitution, which you did swear to protect and everything, so there's that. Speaking about his recent trip with the First Lady to Texas, where a gunman killed 19 elementary school students and 2 teachers, Biden said the school was like countless other everyday places that have become killing fields, battlefields here in America. The school was a gun-free zone, by the way. It didn't seem to help that much. The survivors and families of the victims of gun violence, Biden said, had one request: do something. Just do something, for God's sake, do something. How about doing something that makes sense? How about doing something we think through? How about doing something logical and thoughtful? How about doing something reasoned and contemplated? That might be a good idea, for example. Doing something that has some basis in fact and something that's compatible with the Constitution, that might be good. Thank you so much for being part of the Uncivil Law family. If you enjoyed this legal education content, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. We appreciate your continuing support. Until later, my friends, cheers and goodbye.